So, ladies and gentlemen, viewers and subscribers, the brash and brazen, I will never be mistaken or overtaken. I keep it prolific, consistent, and dedicated. WWE, and this is, I have a response to this one. And viewers and subscribers, I want your comments, I want your opinions, I want your reactions to this because this is absolutely, I can't. I'm flabbergasted. I'm speechless. I'm lost for words. Listen to this one. As seen on Wrestling Inc., and we're going to give our commentary, our comments, our criticisms, our opinions, our views, because after all, this is called Sean's View Entertainment, the only view that matters on YouTube.com. And when I say that, I mean the only view that matters on YouTube.com. As it concerns, doing your opinion in video form, I do value my viewers, my subscribers, and my fans. I value your comments and your opinions. But let's get into this one. WWE Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins, who I'm a fan of, and former WWE writer Jimmy Jacobs took to Twitter and commented on a tweet that said Monday's record low Raw ratings, the Raw viewership, which for 2 weeks in a row has seen the most horrific, the most lowest, the most atrocious Raw ratings, and perhaps not only Raw ratings and viewership, but attendance in a long time. Raw viewership was embarrassing. The original tweet was made by Brian Alvarez. I got to give that guy a thumbs up because, we talk about these dirt sheets and these websites, but ultimately we come on here and we give our view and we give our opinion, whether we agree, whether we disagree, whether we're on the fence. We give our opinion, just like Wrestling Inc. and Ringside News and WrestleZone. They all post the news and the rumors. Well, guess what? As YouTubers, as content creators, we come on here and we give our view and we give our opinions of the news and the rumors in World Wrestling Entertainment. But let's get into the report. The original tweet was made by Brian Alvarez of F4W Online referring to the 2.194 million viewers that Monday's Tables, Ladders, and Cheers, the TLC Go Home edition of Raw, drew the lowest rating to date. The lowest viewership in the history of the show. And that's before a pay-per-view. This week's SmackDown drew 1.977 million viewers, the second lowest SmackDown audience for a first-run non-holiday episode. Indian, my bad. I apologize. Indie veteran Jacobs, who was a former creative writer, commented that writing a 3-hour wrestling TV show every week is hard. Seth Rollins responded to Jacobs' tweet and pointed to how the company has to produce 5 hours of live TV every week between Raw and SmackDown. Now, Jacobs wrote, writing a 3-hour wrestling TV show every single week is effing hard. We all know what the F word means. He said it's very hard. Then Seth Rollins said, that's the only thing I don't think people understand. 5 hours of live TV every week, and in all the extraneous variables that affect the final outcome, and it's a modern miracle that the shows come together as well as they do. Well, here's my problem with that. If the show and, writing the show is too hard and you can't get the job done and you can't come up with something fresh and compelling and give your characters character development, and if you cannot develop and strategize a storyline, then why in the hell did WCW have a 3-hour show on Monday Nitro, and then they had WCW Thunder on, Wednesday or Thursday night, Tuesday night? I forget. That's going back in 97, 98, 99. And, you have a roster that is very capable, very willing, very able. Listen, I don't blame the wrestlers. I don't blame the athletes. I don't blame the superstars. Okay? But if you're a creative writer, and listen, I'm not saying that the job's easy, okay? Yeah, there may be some certain components. You may have an off day. You may not know, but it seems like this current creative team, they're just going through the motions. They're just putting out garbage. And a lot of these writers, from what I hear, they don't have any knowledge of wrestling 101. They don't know what it's like to write a storyline. Hell, we don't really have many storylines going on anymore on Monday Night Raw. We really don't. I mean, you see, here's the thing with me. Back in the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era, every wrestler, whether it be Austin or DX or the mid-cards, they had a purpose. They were individuals. They had character. They had, mic skills. The crowd was into them. The higher-ups were it's just, yeah, you can talk about it. It's a different time. It's a different era. You got YouTube. You got Netflix. You got this. You got that. But if you look up the facts, you can blame this. And you know what? For everyone that's saying, oh, this is Roman Reigns' fault. This is that person's fault. It's this person's fault. It's that. It all lays on, I watch Raw every week. And how can you say, and again, I don't blame the wrestlers. I don't blame the superstars that go in there and bust their butt. I give it to the girls and the guys. I really do. But when it comes to the fundamentals and the logic or the illogic of the show, how can you put out a show like this? Week in and week out. How can you be happy? At what point does the USA Network or when Fox gets that SmackDown deal, at what point do you step in and say, what's going down? What's happening? When is there going to be change? For a lot of Raws, there isn't a rhyme or a reason. They just throw stuff and see what fits and see what doesn't. See what sticks and see what doesn't. Once again, going through the motions, calling it in, phoning it in. The WWE, yes, it's true. They don't got WCW and ECW breathing down their backs. But the WWE, I think at one time said that since there aren't any other wrestling organizations that are competing against them, and I understand, yes, there's ROH and TNA and NJPW, but let's be realistic. Even though they may be giving off a better product, they don't match the WWE. The WWE is the top. The WWE is at a higher echelon. But at what point does the USA Network or Fox come in and say, you need to change, the diatribe, the creative, the sequences, just the overall show needs to be refreshed. As Vince McMahon used to say, it's time to shake things up again. WCW in its dying days was more entertaining than the Monday Night Raw and the haze that we're getting today. But again, I could be wrong. You could be saying that Monday Night Raw is great and it's off the charts. It's funny how Seth Rollins is agreeing with this former creative writer when last thing on Raw in a shoot, because it was so real, it was so realistic, it was such a pipe bomb, it was so CM Punk and Stone Cold like. Give me a break. Give me a break. I'm a Seth Rollins fan. I am a Seth Rollins fan. Burn it down. Well, I'll tell you what. If Monday Night Raw continues with the way they're doing it, they're going to burn their own show down to the damn ground, okay? It's funny how Seth Rollins is agreeing with this guy when he was the same Seth Rollins that blamed Baron Corbin for the show sucking. Seth Rollins in a work shoot, whatever you want to call it, whether it was manipulated, whether it was sidetracked, sidelined, whatever you want to say. Seth Rollins went out there and said that under Baron Corbin's leadership and under his, GM-elect, Raw has sucked. Raw has been an abomination. The ratings have tanked, have sunk. But yet, Seth Rollins now not blaming Baron Corbin, because let's be realistic, let's be honest. It was never Baron Corbin's fault in the first place. Baron Corbin is not literally in charge of Monday Night Raw, all right? So I'm a little bit taken aback. I'm a little bit shaking my head. I'm raising my eyebrows at this former creative writer and Seth Rollins for agreeing with one another on how hard it is to write a 3-hour show or a 5-hour show between Raw and SmackDown Live Well, if it's that hard and you can't be realistic and you can't come up with different components and, push characters and give out storylines and make your show intriguing, well, then you're in the wrong damn business. And it's time for you to move on and do something different. It's time for you to accept that you ain't got what it takes to put on a good show. And again, I don't blame the wrestlers. I don't blame the superstars of WWE. You can blame it on Vince. You can blame it on the creative writers. You can say that they're out of touch, that they're out of tune. But viewers and subscribers, I'm about to go to Neptune with the way that this show has been written. The structure, the fundamentals has all been lost. It has all been lost in the sauce. So viewers and subscribers, I pride myself in being the undisputed number one source for all views and opinions of rumors, news, and headlines in WWE. And I'll tell you what, speaking about deadlines, if the WWE doesn't change, if the WWE does not, roll with the times and change and adjust and, give us fans a reason to be intrigued and to believe what is happening, you can come up with all the excuses, the dirt sheets and the websites. You can come up with, TV isn't what it once was, and NFL, and NBC, and ABC, and all these different things. But you see, in the Attitude Era, there was competition. In the Attitude Era, Raw's ratings was at an all-time high. You see, there was football back then. There was dirt sheets in the Attitude Era. But now the excuse, because Raw sucks and Raw is not good, the red brand is not thriving, and it's just about surviving, is, because it's too hard to write 5 hours of television a week. Well, you know what? Just like if you can't flip burgers at Burger King, and if you can't make the fries at McDonald's, and you're saying that your job is too hard, and you can't deal with the people, and you can't deal with the stress, well, then it's time for you to move on and do something else. That's my view. That's my opinion. The kind of writing that we're getting on Raw, match after match after match. Not only that, but you get, let's show a replay of what happened earlier in the night. Let's show a replay of what happened earlier in the night. Let's show a replay of what happened earlier in the night. Rematch and replay after replay takes up a lot of time. 3 hours of Raw, at first as a fan, this is going to give so many other guys and girls a chance, an opportunity. Character development, storylines, angles, the intrigue. It's just going to be awesome. It's going to be spectacular. Monday Night Raw is going to draw like never before. And what happened? Raw is not scoring. Raw is an eyesore. Do I want to admit this? Do I want to come on here as a wrestling fan since I'm 3 years old? Do I want to admit, growing up on the likes of a Razor Ramon, a Bret Hart, a Stone Cold, a Hulk Hogan, do I want to Triple H, DX, the Corporation, The Rock? Do I want to come on here and admit that the WWE sucks? Do I know that the WWE is capable and able? Do I know that the WWE, when it comes to push, when it comes to shove? Here's the thing. Here's the bottom line. You got, 10, 20, 30 writers who can't come up with a formula. They cannot be unique. They cannot be diverse. They can't be original. But yet, back in the Attitude Era, you had, 2 or 3 writers, one of them being Vince Russo, and they could get the job done. But you have 10, 20, 30 writers, and you can't get the job done. Something is very wrong with this picture. And if you don't like that, well, then I got to tell you something right now. You're out of luck. Your comments, your opinions on the disastrous, low ratings of Monday Night Raw. You get what you put into the program. You get what you put into your own product. And obviously, it's not getting the job done. And when your ratings keep sinking, well, then it's time to readjust. It's time to change. As the late, great Owen Hart once said, enough is enough. And it's time for a damn change. And boy, that ain't a lie. That is facts. that is realistic. That is the way it is. Subscribe, smash the bell, refresh my channel. More to come from the brash and brazen. I will never be overtaken. SeanzView in the